Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast today. I am so glad you are listening. My name is Jordan, and together, we are going to go on a big adventure. This adventure is not to a faraway land or a mountain or even into space. Instead, we are going to take an adventure into something very close to us. We are going to explore what it means to be ourselves, to be authentic, and to find out who we really are. Our journey today is called In Search of Authenticity, Exploring Identity. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, who am I, really? Have you asked yourself what makes you, you? Is it your name? Your favorite food? The color of your hair or your skin? Or is it something else, something deeper that goes beyond what we see and hear? Today, we are going to think together about these big questions. And don't worry, there is no test and there are no right or wrong answers. All you need is curiosity and a listening ear. Let us begin by talking about the word authenticity. It is a big word, but it is important. Being authentic means being true to yourself. Imagine you have a favorite soft toy. When you hug it, you know it is not pretending to be something else. It is just itself. That is what we mean by authentic, real, true, and honest. Now, what does it mean for a person to be authentic? It means that the person is showing the real feelings inside, using the real voice they have, and not pretending to be someone that they are not. It is not always easy to be authentic. Sometimes, there is a strong wish to fit in or to be liked. Sometimes we feel we should act like others want us to act. That can make us feel confused about who we really are. If you have ever wanted to dress like your friends, cheer for the same team, or laugh at the same jokes even when you did not really think they were funny, you might have felt this kind of pressure. But here is something interesting: there is no one else in the world quite like you. There has never been and there will never be. You are unique, one of a kind, and this is the start of your real, true identity. Now, let us talk about what identity means. Identity is another big word. It is everything that makes us who we are. It is our name, our family, the place we were born, the things we care about, the stories we remember, and the dreams we have for the future. It is all the big and little things together. Take a moment to think of some things that are part of your identity. Maybe you love to draw. Maybe you play soccer or read lots of books. Maybe you speak more than one language. Maybe you love to sing in the shower. All these are little pieces of your identity. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Kai. Kai loved to build things with blocks. He could spend hours stacking, shaping, and balancing blocks. In school, other kids sometimes thought building was boring, but Kai felt happiest when he was making things. He started to worry that he was strange for liking blocks so much. Then, one day, he brought his coolest new building to class to show his teacher. The teacher asked the class to look carefully and notice the detail and balance. Other children saw how creative Kai was and even wanted to learn from him. Slowly, Kai started to see that what made him different was actually wonderful. Soon, he felt proud of his love for building. He learned something important about authenticity. When we accept ourselves and share our true interests, sometimes others appreciate us even more. Maybe you can think of a time when you were worried about being different. Maybe you wondered if people would like you if you shared your real self. Everyone has these worries now and then. Adults, children, even teachers and parents wonder about these things. But remember Kai. His real joy and skills became something wonderful to share with others. You might be wondering, but what if sometimes I do not know who I am, or what I like, or what I want to be? That is completely normal. Identity is not something we find all at once, like a hidden treasure under the ground. It is something we keep exploring as we grow up. When you are little, you might think you want to be a painter. When you are older, you might fall in love with playing the piano or studying bugs in the garden. Each new thing you try or learn about yourself becomes a new piece of your identity puzzle. It is also normal to change. Think about it. Have you ever changed your favorite color? Or food? Or the books you like? You are allowed to change your mind. Sometimes other people try to make us believe that we should always be one way. But even seasons change and so do we. Changing is another way to be authentic and true to your own feelings. Some people feel that they are different in other ways too. For example, some kids have a different kind of family than their friends. Maybe you have two moms or two dads. Maybe you live with grandparents or an uncle or foster parents. Some kids travel between two homes. Some have moved from another country and speak a language at home that is not the one used at school. Each of these pieces of who you are is important and special. They are not something to hide or be ashamed of. They are all threads in your own story, and no two stories are the same. Let us take a moment to think about stories. Every person has a story. Think of your life as a storybook. On the first page is your name and the day you were born. Then, there are chapters for your first steps, your first word, and your first day of school. There are also stories about people who love you, about times you felt sad or proud or silly. Every story is different because every person is different. When you listen to other people's stories, you can learn a lot about them, and sometimes about yourself too. Listening with kindness and curiosity helps us grow in understanding. Some people try to hide parts of their story. Maybe they are shy about their name or their culture or their family background. Sometimes people worry that others will not understand. Sometimes people act different from what they really feel, hoping to fit in. But most of the time, hiding our real selves just makes us feel alone or unhappy. Being honest about our story, sharing our real feelings, and being brave enough to be ourselves can help us feel free and happy. But what about when people laugh at us or say mean things when we are different? That can really hurt. When someone makes fun of your clothes, your accent, your food, or your ideas, it can feel like they are not accepting your true self. This can make us want to hide or change who we are to avoid being teased. It is important to remember that everyone feels this way sometimes. Even the person who teases you is probably struggling with their own worries about being accepted. One thing that can help is finding even one person who accepts you just as you are. It could be a family member or a good friend or a teacher. When you have at least one person who says, "I see you, I like you, I am glad you are you," it can make a big difference. If you notice someone else who might be feeling alone or different, you can be that person for them. You can say, "Your story matters. I am glad you are here." Let's think a little about the world we live in. Our world is full of different people, different cultures, languages, foods, and ways of thinking. Some people believe in different things, pray in different ways, or not at all. This is not something to be afraid of. Instead, it is something to celebrate. Imagine a garden with only one kind of flower. It might be pretty, but it would not be as interesting as a garden with many colors, shapes, and scents. Our world is beautiful because there are so many ways to be human. Do you know what sometimes happens in the world? People form groups with others who are like them, and sometimes forget to be kind to people who are different. Sometimes, people put up walls instead of building bridges. When we feel proud of who we are, we should also remember to respect and learn from others. Authenticity is about being yourself, not about thinking you are better than others. Let's take a moment to use our imagination. I want you to think of yourself as a tree. You started as a tiny seed, planted in the earth. Over time, with sunshine and rain and gentle wind, you start to grow. Your roots dig deep, holding you steady. Your trunk grows stronger. Your branches reach up into the sky. As you get taller, your leaves open, and maybe you even grow flowers or fruit. Sometimes a storm comes and shakes your branches. Some leaves fall. Sometimes birds build their nest in your branches. Sometimes people stand under your shade. All these experiences, good and bad, are part of what makes you, you. Even if another tree grows next to you, it will not be exactly the same. You have your own way of growing, your own rings inside your trunk, your own shape against the sky. That is what it means to grow with authenticity, to be and become your own wonderful self. Let's talk about something deep. Sometimes, finding who we really are takes courage. There are times when you have to stand up and say, "This is me. I like what I like, and I believe what I believe." You might feel afraid or shy, but even small acts of truth help your roots grow stronger. Maybe you stand up for a friend who is being left out. Maybe you wear the clothes you like even when no one else does. Maybe you share an idea in class or tell someone honestly how you are feeling. Every little act of honesty and courage is like watering your tree and helping it grow strong. It is also brave to ask questions about yourself. Sometimes we feel things we do not completely understand. Maybe you feel different from your family in the music you like or the games you want to play or the way you want to look. It can feel lonely, but it is okay. You are learning about yourself. It is important to ask for help when you feel confused or sad. Talking to someone you trust can help you understand your feelings more. Let me tell you another story. This one is about Maya. Maya had always been shy. She liked imagining big adventures, but in real life, she was quiet. At school, she sometimes felt invisible. One day, her teacher asked everyone to say something interesting about themselves. Maya was nervous, but she decided to share a dream she had. She told the class about her idea for a story about a hidden valley and magical talking animals. To her surprise, her classmates thought her story was amazing. Suddenly, kids who she barely knew wanted to talk to her about her story ideas. Maya learned that sharing even a small part of who you are can help you make friends and feel proud. Sometimes we discover things about ourselves that surprise even us. Maybe you think you are not good at art, but then you try painting for the first time and really love it. Maybe you thought you did not like sports, but you join a team and have lots of fun. Trying new things is a way to keep learning about who you are. If you do not try, you will never know. Here's something special: your identity is made not just by what you do, but also by what you care about. Maybe you care about helping the earth, cleaning up trash, or planting trees. Maybe you care about standing up for fairness when you see someone being treated unkindly. The things your heart cares about are a big part of your authentic self. When you take action on the things you care about, your true self becomes stronger and shines brighter. Do you ever feel one way at home and another way at school? Or do you feel like a different person when you're around different friends? Almost everyone feels this sometimes. You might act silly with your best friend, but quiet in class. Or maybe you speak a different language at home than you do at school. That is all part of being human. Authenticity does not mean you are exactly the same everywhere and every moment. It means you are being true to the feelings and values that matter most to you, whatever the situation. It is important to listen to others about their stories, too. When we listen with our whole hearts, people feel safe telling us the truth about who they are. And when you listen to others, you might find you have things in common that you did not know. Or you might be surprised at how different their lives are. Both are wonderful and help us grow. Now, sometimes people use words like labels to try and put people into boxes. These labels can be about where you are from, what you look like, how you talk, or even what you like. Labels can help us understand things, but they can also be hurtful when used the wrong way. Imagine if someone only saw you as the kid who wears glasses or the girl who is shy. But you are so much more than any label. No one label can tell your whole story. You are too full of ideas and dreams and hopes and questions to fit into just one box. If you notice people putting others into boxes, stop and think for a moment. Remember all the different puzzle pieces that make your identity. Every person has a mix of pieces in their puzzle. It is better to ask questions like, what do you care about? What makes you happy? What dreams do you have? The more we learn about each other, the less we need labels and the more we can just be ourselves. As you grow older, you will keep learning new things about yourself. You will hear new stories, meet new people, face new challenges, and make new discoveries. Some things about you will remain the same, and some things will change. That is wonderful because it means you are alive and growing. And maybe the hardest but best lesson is that your story is never finished. You are always writing new pages. Sometimes, being authentic means speaking up when others are afraid to. If you see unfairness in your classroom or your neighborhood, maybe you can be the one who says something. It takes bravery to say, that is not right, or I do not agree, or we should listen to everyone. Speaking up is risky, but it can help make things better for everyone. You are not alone on your journey. All around you are other explorers, other kids and adults trying to find out who they are, too. Some people act very sure of themselves, but inside, everyone is wondering and learning, just like you. When we work together to help each other be real and true, our whole community grows strong. One of the best things you can do for yourself is to notice and appreciate the things that make you special. Maybe you have a wonderful laugh, or you are a great listener, or you always remember people's birthdays. Maybe you have a bright idea or a gentle way of caring for someone who is sad. Sometimes the things that are most authentic about us are the things we do not even notice. Ask someone close to you what they think is special about you. Listen to their answer. It might surprise you. Another way to get to know yourself is to spend quiet time alone. This can be reading by yourself, drawing, going for a walk, or just lying in bed and thinking about your day. When you are by yourself, you can listen to your own thoughts and feelings without worrying what other people think. You can learn to recognize what feels right for you and what does not. This is the beginning of becoming your own best friend. It can also help to write down your thoughts and dreams in a journal. Even if you do not want to show it to anyone, it can help you understand who you are. You do not have to write perfect sentences. Doodles, lists, or just scribbling your feelings can be a way to be more honest with yourself. Your journal is a safe place, your own storybook. Remember, no one is perfect. Sometimes we make mistakes, or say things we do not mean, or pretend to be someone we are not. That is okay. Being authentic does not mean being perfect. It means wanting to try again, to be honest, to keep learning and growing. Let us talk for a moment about dreams. Your dreams do not have to be the same as anyone else's dreams. Maybe you want to be an astronaut, or a nurse, a dancer, a teacher, a poet, a scientist, or someone who invents something totally new. Do not let anyone tell you that your dreams are silly or impossible. Your dreams are part of your identity. Even grown-ups are still learning about what they love and want in life. Sometimes, it helps to remember people in history or in your community who have been brave about showing their real, true selves. Maybe it is someone from your own family, or a leader you have learned about in school, or an artist or inventor. Many wonderful things in the world have happened because someone was brave enough to be different and to follow their own path. You can do the same. Let us also remember that being authentic is a gift to others. When you are real, you give other people permission to be real, too. It is like passing a spark from one candle to another. When you shine honestly, others feel safer shining, too. You help make the world a kinder, truer, and happier place. So, the next time you feel a little worried or shy about being yourself, remember that there is no one right way to be a person. You do not have to be the same as everyone else to belong. In fact, the world needs your uniqueness. The world needs your true spirit, your voice, your curiosity, your dreams. If you ever feel lost or confused about who you are, talk to someone you trust. Ask questions, listen, and be gentle with yourself. Your identity will keep growing and changing your whole life long, and that is the most exciting adventure I know. Thank you for listening to our big adventure into what it means to be authentic and to explore identity. I hope you remember that being yourself is always enough. There is real power in being true, kind, curious, and brave. The journey to know and be yourself is one that never really ends, and that is the magic of being human. Every day, you add another piece to your one-of-a-kind story. I hope you like your story as much as I do. Until next time, remember, you are already someone wonderfully unique, and the world is lucky to have you just the way you are. Keep exploring, keep growing, and above all, keep being your amazing self. Thank you, and goodbye.